I remember when I was a kid, I was probably about maybe 5 or 6 years old, and one day my father said to me, you're gonna come with me to a talk story." I go, "Okay." So we go off, and I forgot exactly where it was, but we show up somewhere, and there are about like maybe 10 or 12 people there. Some of them I recognize, some of them I don't. And people are sitting around, you got some poo-poos around, some beverages and stuff. And, people are conversing. Sometimes the conversation was about politics, sometimes it was about just the weather, or where's a good place to eat, or whatever. Or, the conversation went all over the place. And I remember on the way home, my father asked me, he goes, "So what'd you think?" And I said, "Oh, I thought that was pretty interesting." And he just sort of looked at me and said, "You just thought that it was a bunch of people sitting around talking and telling stories, didn't you?" He says, "Look, you got to understand some things here. You have to understand the talk story, the concept of talk story is one of the things that makes this place, that makes Hawaii, and the way we do things here, it's one of the things that makes us really special. It is a very different way of looking at things. You have to understand, it seems real simple, but there's a lot going on here under the surface. You have to understand, there are three basic concepts that you need to know as far as what makes for a good talk story. The first concept is a very good thing to understand what the other person is thinking. Simple enough. It's a better thing to know why that person thinks that. But if you really play your cards right, the best thing of all is to understand how that person comes to their decisions, what their thought process is, what their dreams and aspirations are, who they care about, why do they care about them, how does that factor into their dreams and aspirations and fears and concerns. Because when you understand that, that's how you're going to be able to understand how you can make someone your friend or your ally, or at the very least, how you can keep that person from becoming your enemy, if at all possible. That's what talk story is about. Talk story is about trying to understand people and trying to get people to understand you. And that way you'll be able to interact better with them, and they'll be able to interact better with you. It's about telling stories, but it's about really understanding what's behind the story. That's what talk story is about.